Now let's look at West Asia. Turmoil could return to the area any day. The Gaza ceasefire was looking increasingly fragile, with Hamas initially saying it would delay the release of Israeli hostages. This prompted threats from both the US and Israel. But even as this crisis is unfolding, a new concern has popped up. A new US intelligence report which says that Israel plans to launch an attack against its arch nemesis, Iran. The report says that Israel wants to hit Iranian nuclear facilities, two in particular, in Fordo and Natanz. Now, these sites are located to the south of Iran's capital, Tehran. They're in the middle of the country. But Israel sees an opening. Now, you may remember what happened last October. Israeli forces attacked Tehran's military facilities and Iran's air defenses. This was a tit-for-tat attack. After Iran fired missiles at Israel, Israel was initially considering a strike on Iran's nuclear facilities back then as well. But former US President Joe Biden rejected that idea, so Israel had to opt for something else. They had to hit conventional military sites and air defenses instead, not Iran's nuclear sites. And the air defenses part is important here. It weakened Iran's shield against future attacks. It left the country more vulnerable to further strikes, including strikes on its nuclear facilities. And this is reportedly still the case. Iran is still vulnerable. Iran's air defenses are not back to their former levels. So Israel believes that the iron is hot, and it should use this opportunity to hit Iran's nuclear sites. There's another reason why Israel is thinking about this now. It's because Joe Biden has left office, and the new US president is Donald Trump. His support for Israel is well known, as is his opposition to Iran. During his first term, Donald Trump had applied what he called the maximum pressure policy towards Iran. And now he wants to do the same. Does this mean that Israel has Trump's support to target Iran's nuclear sites? Well, not really. Yes, Trump wants to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, but he seems opposed to the idea of attacking Iran, at least for now. He wants to try talks first.
I say this, and I say this to Iran, who's listening very intently. I would love to be able to make a great deal, a deal where you can get on with your lives and you'll do wonderfully. You'll do wonderfully. Incredible people, industrious, beautiful, just an unbelievable group of people in Iran.
Trump said all of this while standing right next to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Clearly, he does not want to bomb Iran arbitrarily, not before trying to work out a deal. Netanyahu may have been taken aback because this is what he said next.
We also see eye to eye on Iran. That's the same Iran that tried to kill us both. They tried to kill you, Mr. President. They tried through their proxies to kill me. We're both committed to rolling back Iran's aggression in the region and ensuring that Iran never develops a nuclear weapon.
But when it comes to bombing Iran, Netanyahu and Trump do not see eye to eye. Reports say that Trump shot down Netanyahu's plan. He refused to launch a military attack on Iran, and this is what he said on social media, that he wants Iran to be a successful nation, and that reports about US and Israeli strikes were quote-unquote greatly exaggerated. Now let's look at the US intelligence reports again. They talk about Israeli strikes on Iran's nuclear facility. But the strikes would have to be supported by the US. America would have to help Israel with aerial refueling, with surveillance, and with reconnaissance. The reports do not talk about a solo Israeli strike. Also remember, Iran's nuclear sites are not sitting ducks. They are located underground, with their own defenses, of course. Israel would need a lot of additional support and firepower to destroy them. Without that, the strikes would be superficial. They would just set Iran back by weeks, maybe months, but they would also give Iran more reason to build nuclear weapons. So a solo Israeli strike may end up being an own goal. At least this is America's analysis. Some Israeli officials disagree with this. They think the US is not giving them enough credit. So will Israel really go ahead with its attack, even without Donald Trump's approval? Or will it wait for Trump to try and talk things out first? I guess we'll find out in the weeks to come. We're calling this show Vantage. We hope you like what we've put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.